Hi, everyone. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
Hello.
I didn't have many pictures of Robin, but I made an intro anyway.
That was so nice, Josie. That
Thank
was
you.
so nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the pictures that you have, I mean, they really are good pictures.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the one is when on my second channel when we did the funny stories. That
Yeah.
one of those, yeah. And welcome everyone. Let's see who's in here. Justine, Claudette, Mike. Let's see, Joanne, and let me go up. Dee and Ella,
Eh,
Cheryl and
Cheryl. Yeah.
Pamela. Thank you, everyone. It breaks my
Stephen.
heart. We lost two of our precious people. They got to stop
Elaine.
this. No
Yeah.
more. No
I'm
more.
telling you all, stop it now.
Yeah.
Stop it.
My heart can't take any more losing friends.
No. It it
Yeah.
it was so both of them was so unexpected. It wasn't like they
Yeah.
had been we knew Pam had some medical problems. I
But
knew
she's
that
had for a
Robin
long
had
time.
an autoimmune disease. I knew she had just gotten a pacemaker, but the way she talked in chat, I mean, it would be just like me. You know, we fought and we fight a disease, you know?
Yeah. It's but like with Pam, I had talked to her the night before, and Robin, we all see her, and she's always, you know, let's see, I've known Robin at least 4 or 5 years, and I just can't believe this. When I heard that, I thought, oh no, no more now. I'm putting the
No,
stop to it.
when I saw it on Frank's he and I are friends on Facebook. So when I saw it on his Facebook, I thought he had put her name. Like my
Hmm.
name is Angie Smith. He had put her name.
Yeah.
And I thought, wait a minute, is that Robin Robin? Like Robin Weehall Robin? And I thought, well, no, it's not. It's not. And as it went on, I found out that it wasn't. Oh, I was like, oh my goodness, what happened?
It's so
But
sad.
it
Hi,
is.
Elaine. Hi, Leon. And we're gathered today, and I want everyone in the chat. If you have stories, you're welcome to type them in. Um, Memories that you have with Robin. I just wanted to show respect and to honor her. So this is a very relaxed thing. Hi, Amy.
Miss
I just
Idaho came in.
yeah.
I'm trying to see who all's here. Um, Amy might have been the one that I don't want to say, but I can't remember who told Frank about it. You know, it was a friend of Robin's that got
Yeah.
in touch, which to me, I think that's wonderful that
And I
they were able to get in touch with us, their community,
yeah.
and let us know because we would have just wondered where she was.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, if
yeah.
nobody would have got in touch with us.
Because most of the time, if she wasn't able to come into one of my auctions or live streams, she would let me know. It's like she had to go to the doctor or shopping or, you know. So, and I did contact Angel and Frank to see if they wanted to participate. And, sometimes people like to stay private, and I respect that. I'm
Right, but
fine.
at least you asked them and
I
you
did
gave them
ask
an
them.
opportunity. Yeah.
I know they were real close to Robin, and I didn't feel like I wanted to, you know, dominate and do this
And
if they
just take
wanted
over.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I did contact them first. Hi, Gina. It's a long
And
time no see, girl.
yeah,
Good to see
Gina
you.
and Sandy. Sandy came in. Anita came in. These are some people that I see on
On
Frank's
yes, yes.
channel that were friends with Robin.
And I'm
So
so glad. Hi, Sandy. I'm so glad you guys come in because I was hoping that, like I said, Robin didn't go to a lot of auctions. She went to Angel and Frank's all the time. She came to mine all the time. And then when Irene and Carol used to do auctions. She was always on there. So she went to a few, but not a lot. So there's a
No,
lot of
she wasn't in every one of them. No.
yeah. So there's a group of people out there that don't know her, but I can tell you she's the most honest. She was the most honest person. Um,
Hey,
I
Susan.
I trusted her 100%. And as Angie and I were talking before we come on, neither one of us trust a lot of people,
No.
but I
And
trusted her.
after all these years, I'm trying to get past that, and I've conquered a lot of it. But it was very hard for me to trust.
Yeah, she was just, and the stories, and I know she wanted to participate again when we did, funny stories. I canceled the last one because Pam had passed away.
Right.
And I thought after a specific time, then I would do another one, and then Robin could tell us more stories. But I think she decided to go meet
She and
Pam.
Pam had a meeting that they had to
Yeah,
get to.
because it just struck me so like, oh, it touched my heart because I remember Pam saying her and Robin were going to meet. They were both from Ohio. And I thought, well, you guys, did you have to meet in heaven right now?
Yeah. Like y'all had a private meeting we couldn't join.
Yeah. So
Mike said Robin will always be the biggest pain in my butt.
Mike, you loved her though.
Oh, he loved Robin. They joked with each other back and forth. He put laughing faces behind that.
He loved to tease Robin and Pam both, and
he did. He teased both of them. He did.
Oh yeah. So I was teasing him once. I said, "You mean I'm not your queen anymore?"
Yeah. He did. That's true.
Anyway, I'd like to see maybe some comments about how did you meet Robin, and how well did you know her? Like I said, I know she had a fantastic sense of humor. So,
if y'all haven't went back and watched that video on Josie's other channel, Josie's Place, no, Josie Cares.
Yeah.
Watch it and you'll just see what type of person Robin really was. And she was a nurse, wasn't she, Josie?
She was a nurse's aide.
A nurse's aide? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she worked in nursing. No. Hi, Stephen. Welcome. Yeah, I'm going to let, as you all know, I talk too much, but I'm going to let Angie tell you how she met Robin in a little bit about,
Okay, so I met Robin, and I was thinking back after it happened, and I found out about it. And I think I met her in Frank and Angel's First is where I think I met her. And she spoke, and, we just would, she found out I had an autoimmune disease, and she asked me what it was. And I said sarcoidosis. She was like, no way. That's what I have. And we just were talking in the chat, and she said, well, I guess we're sisters now because we have the same autoimmune disease. And so we always called each other sisters because of sharing. We had something in common. And that's a lot of times that's what happens on YouTube. You find out you have something in common with someone else, and it just brings you together, and that's what I love about it. But she was always so nice to me and always asked me how my health was. I kept up with her health. And the last thing I knew about her that we talked about in the chat, she had received a pacemaker. She had never had one, but she was getting one. Mm-hmm. And it was after I had got mine replaced. And so I knew that she had to go to a pacemaker. So when they told me that she had passed, I was thinking, well, did it have something to do with her pacemaker, or, what happened? And as of today, I have not heard anyone say what they thought may have happened or what. I don't know. But she had her pets. She would come in Josie's auction, and I have never seen one person buy so much blingy jewelry for their poodle and their dogs. I have never ever experienced that. And
I'm
she would
near.
buy these statement pieces that Josie would sell for her poodle. It was so cute what she would do. But that's how I met Robin, and she was always speaking to me in the chats and talking. I never heard her say one negative thing
I mean,
about anybody ever.
no, she would not get involved in drama, which I loved about her. And if you ever wanted to know anything about movies, all you had to do is ask
Oh, she
Alice.
watched those older movies.
And if you watch some of those older movies, they have the most beautiful statement necklaces. And she really loved those. And
Hey, Francine.
hi, Francine. Francine, I can type on my phone. You have to hit the chat. Um, I don't know what phone you have, but I know with an iPhone you can type, but that's okay. You're here. That's the main thing. Robin used to call me, yeah, her little brother. Yes, she did.
Now, if Robin, she never mistreated anyone that I know of, but if she really liked you, she would joke with you, and she would,
Yeah.
especially Mike. I mean, she and Mike would go back and forth in the chat when Josie would have her auctions. They would give each other, let's just say, hell in the chat, but they would just be joking back and forth like brother and sister.
Yeah, and I teased her a couple times because her husband, who had passed away, had this long beard, and Mike has a beard. And I used to tease her. I said, "Yeah, you love Mike's beard."
She likes men with beards. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it was cool. That
I was looking at her obituary. They had posted it somewhere. I don't know if it was on Facebook or I don't know.
some
But I
Facebook
didn't
on
really
her
know
page.
how old Robin was. I didn't know her age or anything, which it doesn't matter. But I didn't think she was. I
She
didn't think she
was,
was very old.
she
I
was
didn't get that
68.
impression.
She was
But
68.
yeah, she's 10 years older than I am, and it just broke my heart because I just thought, oh, that's such a young age.
Mike,
But
you'll
she's in a better place.
Yes, she is. She was a believer. She had faith in the Lord Jesus, and so did Pam. So we know they're not suffering. They're in a better place. But we're human, and humans, we're selfish. We miss people. We miss our loved ones. And
I can take it, Mike. Just bring it. Bring it.
you got a challenge there if you want to give Angie a bad time, Mike.
Yeah. But I felt like when you brought up the fact that you wanted to do a memorial for Robin, I'm always the person that says, give someone their moment. And I felt like it was the perfect thing to do because Robin needs to have her moment in our community of what she meant to each one of us, and maybe something special that she did that no one knows about. uh she needs to have her moment.
And think about this, it's not just us resellers. Without the rest of the community, without people who come in and join in, whether it's a sale or just a chit chat, we wouldn't exist. Don't think it's just a reseller's world, because it's not. As I always say, no matter how good your content is, if you don't have your supporters, you don't have anything.
And she was a great supporter. And
Yeah.
also, and Josie and I talked about this on our program, The Calm Before the Storm. It's amazing that we were given the ability to care about someone that we never stood in front of and physically met. Like I could reach out and hug one of my YouTuber members that come to my channel, but yet and still you feel close to them. You feel like you've known them. You feel like that you befriend them and you want to be their friend. And it's amazing that we're talking through this technology, but we can care for each other.
Hi,
That's what's amazing.
Suzanne. Welcome, Suzanne. And I know Suzanne, well, Suzanne is another loyal supporter, and she knows Robin. And hi, Laura. Yeah, Robin she was just a lot of fun in our auction. And, you know, I always told her, hey, no pressure. We're just happy you're here.
Oh, I wish I could have met her in person too, Justine.
Yeah.
Just like I would love to meet you and Josie and Ella and Susan. I mean, I would love to meet any of you that, except for Mike. I don't want to meet Mike, but he said it made me happy to watch her bid on things, and then I would pop up and pay for it. I would sit here and laugh. Yeah, that was a funny situation.
Mike is very generous. He tries to be tough, but he's not. Just
And that's another thing. We never know the pain that somebody else goes through, that somebody in the chat makes them feel better going through their pain. And I think Robin did that. You know, somebody could be going through something or dealing with something, and some of the things she would say would make, and I know it has me, make us feel better if we were having a bad day or something didn't go right or something. You know, a lot of times that happens in chats. I can be down and not really feeling good, and I can get online with my live chat or whatever and start talking to my chat, and it's like, oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah, it really does help, I think. And you know, I know for myself, especially like on Facebook, a few times, you know, we all make judgment calls that we shouldn't when you first meet someone. But after you see and talk to them, and you find out some of the things that's happened in their past, I don't know, it to me, it opens up your heart. We all have things that we went through, and I know Robin went through a lot in her life, and she lost her husband too. And you know, one thing we used to kind of tease each other about is we both had hernias. I still have mine. She never did have the surgery on hers, but hers was larger than mine. So every once in a while, we'd kind of compare.
Yeah. She had you beat her hernia was. It's funny what you talk about when you get older is how large of a hernia you have, you know. Robin By said, I'm going to miss the battle of the Robins when we bid against each other. That's true. When they would go at each other. Yeah.
Hi, Judy May. And I know
Judy May
knew Robin really well too.
She did. She did.
And
I think Judy May probably has a couple of stories that things that she can remember Robin doing and Rockin' Robin. That's what she called her. I remember now.
Yeah.
I love you and miss you so much, Ohio sister. I'll never hear a bird without thinking of you. Oh, that's true. That's sweet.
That's beautiful, Judy. Yes.
Very sweet. But I think Josie knew more personal things. Like, I know she had sarcoidosis, but she had it in the lungs, and I have it, you know, in my heart and in my nervous system. But we talked about that. That was our main thing in common. But, you know, Robin was a very giving person, and she loved to talk really positive about people. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she really hung around the people that would be negative, or she tried to run from the group that was trying to chew up a person and spit them out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched her in a few incidents where there was negativity, and you'd never seen Robin go back.
Yeah,
and that's the smart thing to do. And she was.
She didn't like that. She didn't like that at all.
No.
as far as the negativity that goes on YouTube, which we all know there's a lot of it, but
There's a lot of it.
she didn't partake in that. And you don't find that too often, that someone doesn't partake in the drama, or just have to listen to it. Even if you listen to it, you're partaking in it. You know what I'm saying?
And she was wise. She never did. Hi, Nancy, and hi, Miss Hernandez. Welcome.
Yorena. Hey, Yorena and Nancy. So good to see you.
Yes. No, and I don't think she'd mind if I told this story. That I remember when I first met Robin, and at that time she didn't have a card, so she could buy on PayPal. And so she wrote me, and she started buying like little things like rhinestone scrap lots, and so she asked me, she said, Josie, is it okay if I send you cash? And that takes trust on both parts. And so I said, okay. So she'd send me X amount, and she might spend a fourth of it, and I would send her itemized on an email and tell her how much she had left. And we laughed about that a couple of years later, because we both about the same time said we didn't know if we could trust each other, but we built this trust.
I mean, you had to start somewhere, and both of you all were not letting each other know that y'all felt like that, but y'all ended up becoming really good friends just from that connection, I think.
I never had to worry about this lady, and she never had to worry about me. She always got what she wanted, what she bought, and I would stick some extra things in there once in a while, a free gift, and she was just, I just had no complaints ever, ever, ever.
If you go over and watch the video on Josie's other channel, the funny stories we told, she really, really loved to have a good time. And she was a jokester and a prank person. She said when she worked as a CNA that they would pull pranks at work. And I remember her telling some of those stories. And a lot of times, I know when I was younger, I couldn't picture someone that was older than I would be, that was once a young person, like maybe in their 20s or 30s, and they did things that I was doing at that time because they were older. And I thought, well, they've never done that. They've never liked to go out and have a good time or whatever. But Robin did. She loved to joke, and she loved to pull pranks, and that's just the type of person she was.
Let's see.
Angie, I just sent you a video that she sent me, one of her favorite things to talk to me about.
Oh, that's neat. Hi, Jessica. Yeah, we will just, like I said, it just won't be the same without her. She was
that must be her grandbaby or her great grandbaby.
I don't know.
I don't know. She was old enough to have a great grandbaby, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think so. Well, she was 68. Yeah, she got married when you were young, and my generation.
Oh, it is her great grandbaby. Yeah. Okay.
My generation, especially, we got married when we were young. I was 18 when I got married. Let's see.
Mike said they got a big storm coming. Love you all, even Angie. You're on my list. Okay, Mike.
Take care, Mike. Be safe.
Yes, be safe out in the weather. We've had some bad thunderstorms here too.
Stay in your house. You don't need to be working in your stuff in the garage.
Yeah, stay away from metal. Don't get close.
Anyway,
hello, Jessica. Welcome in.
Like, keep her in line. Who are you talking about, Sandy? We're supposed to have a thunderstorm here in Ohio. That's right. Joanne, you're in Ohio also. See, Pam and both and Robin were in Ohio.
Yeah, for some reason I don't know what it is, but on my channel I have a lot of I say a lot, but there's several people that are a part of my YouTube channel that live in Ohio.
Hmm.
I think did Irene live in Ohio? I can't remember. I'm not sure, but I mean I know there's several of them.
I'm sure there's quite a few people in the chat that know Irene, so they might know. I'm kind of thinking maybe, but I can't remember for sure. Yes, I think Pam. Yeah, Pam didn't live, I don't know, maybe an hour or
Yeah,
so
she lived
from.
around Cincinnati, is what Joanne said.
Yeah.
Pam, talking about Pam.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, she wasn't in Cincinnati, but I don't know how far she was.
I'm not sure where Pam lives. She probably meant to put Irene. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. We're supposed to get bad storms. Oh, wow.
Oh, she's in New Hampshire. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. I was hoping Irene would come in here today because I know she loved Robin. So I don't know if the word got out or if something's going on in her life. We do all have, a private life. Really? Not much of it. We're on YouTube.
As much as I stay on YouTube, I do have a private life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justine said it's 99 degrees here right now.
Yeah, see, she's in Northern California and I'm in
Southern.
Southern.
It amazes me that the degrees are so much different, Josie, with y'all being in the same state.
I know. It is 80 here.
It's 82 here and raining, of course.
But it's always either colder where Justine is or hotter than where I'm at.
Oh, Amy, I don't think I might have would have done that before I got my pacemaker. She said one of my dream jobs is to be a storm chaser. Look, since I've gotten my pacemaker, as soon as I go out and I see the first streak of lightning, I'm in the house. I'm like, I'm not going to get struck with this metal in my chest. I'm not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Justine, California is a long state. A lot of people don't realize that. And the weather is so different in different parts. Now, when I first moved to California, I lived in a place that's, a little over an hour from where I live now. And it's 10 degrees hotter or 10 degrees colder.
Lori said Irene can't handle it's really hard. It really hit her hard with Pam and Robin.
Yeah. Yeah. Irene gets physically ill when she gets stressed. So I understand.
Hey, Elaine, if I hadn't spoken to you, hello, how are you?
And she loved both of them. And she would tease Pam about she had the quilted trees. How are my trees? She would say.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, we don't, we're happy these people are not suffering anymore, but we're going to miss them. They both have made a big spot in our life, a very loving spot. And I just, like I said, the more I got to thinking about it, I thought, I'm not going to let Robin go without a remembrance gathering.
Well, I can say this. When I think of either one of those two ladies, it brings a smile to my face. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I go, oh man, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have done this, or I wish I hadn't acted this way or that way, or, I can honestly say that it just brings a smile when I think about Pam, and it brings a smile when I think about Robin. And I'm so thankful that I've met both of them, and if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have never met either one of them. So that's why I always say you got to be careful when you're on YouTube and you're in chats, to be nice to people and you don't have to become their best friend or, or anything, but just be nice and polite you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're dealing with.
And those two were an example to where like we should be. I never seen either one of them ever get involved in drama, like Angie said earlier. Um, Always kind and nice to everyone, very respectful, sense of humor, um, and I think if we use them for an example and try to be, we don't have to be like someone else, but just have that love and kindness within us and show respect to each other.
I can't directly speak the truth about this, but I didn't know Robin's personal story as far as why she chose to come to YouTube. But I do know that a lot of people come to YouTube for the interaction with people because they live by themselves or they're lonely or they just need someone to talk to or and I don't know why she came, but I'm glad she did and interact with all of us. Uh, but she may have come to just get to be social with other people, you know?
Yeah, I started just almost 7 years ago. I just started watching a couple of live streams. And then I started watching a couple of auctions, but mostly live streams, just discussions or unboxings and stuff. And pretty soon, a couple of people encouraged me to, do something with my channel. And it's amazing how it grows. Rockin' Robin was, yes, she was honest. Like I said, I trusted her 100%. And I don't trust a lot of people.
And I will say this, I feel like she was like this. If she liked you, she liked you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to wonder about it. You didn't have to think about it. She was, I would say, loyal. She was a loyal friend. I think if I would have known her in person, that I would say that about her, that she was like a loyal friend, that if she ever really cared about you, she cared about you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, if there was, and I won't mention situations, but if I ever seen her like in a live stream and there was drama, she would just quietly walk away, never
You
say a
wouldn't see
word.
her in the
But
chat anymore.
yeah,
She would leave.
and
She would leave.
and you have to respect that. She never, tried to cause problems in anyone's live stream. And like I said, she's going to be missed. Um, I wish we knew exactly, you know, uh, what took her life, but the only thing I could kind of think, since her pacemaker was fairly new, that maybe something went wrong with it, because sometimes they have to go in and, well,
Yeah.
you have a pacemaker.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you're really putting your whole entire life in your heart doctor's hands when they put a pacemaker in. Especially, I'm 100% dependent on mine. So if mine stops unexpectedly or something, it's like it's over. And you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but it also, think how, and I think it should give us all to think really about our mortality. These two people we did not expect to all of a
No,
sudden leave.
no.
And so, as I always say, being a realist, some people don't like that, but it makes me, as a realist, enjoy each day more than if I took life for granted.
I'm good, Anita. Thank you for asking. But I want to say this. This is kind of like it's on track of what we're speaking of, but it's not directly about Robin. But I know Josie and I say this a lot on our channel, and it may be like a resounding something that y'all get like, please don't say that again. But I found that once I turned 50, time went to flying by like really, really fast. Like a week would be a day, or a month would be 2 days. It would just go and go and go. Don't ever take it for granted or think. Live your life is what I want to try to tell you. The best life that you can with what you have. Live it and enjoy it. Don't worry so much. Don't fret so much. Don't be sad so much. Try to overcome that sadness with joy. Somehow, some way. If it's nothing but get up and watch the sunrise or the sunset or watch the birds. That little bird feeder that I have outside my window that I do little videos of has brought me so much joy just by watching those birds and peace. And, just find something and don't get caught up in drama and nonsense and stuff that's not going to matter.
Yep. It doesn't matter. All the things that we think we need or we think we want. And I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy things, but we're not going to take anything with us.
No.
So enjoy what you have, but don't think you need more. Like you, once in a while on Facebook too, you'll read, a little saying like, if you have a roof over your head, you have good health or even halfway good health.
Yeah.
And food in your belly, and you're not alone. I mean, you're rich, really. Yeah.
So, and just think about if someone has a different belief than you do, spiritually, a spiritual belief that you don't agree with, or right now the main thing is the political belief, and I won't even go there. But even if y'all don't have the same belief, it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't. You can find common ground. You really can.
Yeah. And that's another thing with Robin and Pam. They both had strong beliefs, but they lived it and they didn't try to push it on anyone. They just lived it. And that's what's important, because others can see how you live. A few months back, I was at Cleveland, Ohio clinic with April and Robin, and I were chit-chatting back and forth. Oh, wow.
You probably needed that because Judy May, I know that y'all been dealing with a lot with your sister, and I cannot imagine. And I know, like, you need that encouragement sometimes when someone is suffering in your family that you can't control. You have no control over it. So it means a lot to have people there and somebody to support you and understand what you're going through. And even if they completely do not understand it, they can listen. That's a good thing.
Wow, Judy May. Yeah.
Yeah, she was generous. Yes, she was
generous, and she bought, gifted things to people in the auctions. I mean, she was very sweet, very generous.
Back up at the part of the chat, Justine said that she was working on a picture, or no, a diamond art or something for her.
Oh.
Robin was working on a pink jewelry art cat for me. I'm going to print the email picture of it she sent me and frame it. She was so kind.
Oh, wow.
And that, when someone takes the time, and this is what always amazes me, when someone takes the time to send you a card, to send you a gift, especially if it's personally made, if they sit down and make it with their hands and they personally make this gift and they mail it to you, I don't understand how someone could not be moved by that. Because every time that happens to me, I'm so moved that that person actually thought of me enough that they would mail a card to me, that they would send me this little diamond art that they did, you know, and I would think, oh, wow, this is amazing.
Wow.
I feel so bad. Robin wanted me to quit smoking cigarettes, so she sent me a incentive, and I told her I could not accept this because I don't believe that I can do it.
Judy, you can.
Robin loved my dog. She would buy him things and people's auction and mail them to me, and I wouldn't even know. See there, that's what I'm talking about. That's how much you never know that someone thinks that much about you, you know, for you. They have good intentions.
And
towards you.
when they don't want recognition, it really comes from their heart. You know, they know the good Lord knows that they gave, and they don't need a big pat on the back.
Right. They don't want it talked about. They don't want it,
Mhm.
you know, you to tell them thank you over and over again. They just do it from the depths of their heart. And that's the way she was.
Yeah.
She gave freely, and that's what giving is all about. There was no strings attached to it.
Yeah. No, she was just, like I said, I never had any, like I said, any negativity or any doubt in this woman's, how she was. She was always fantastic, always had fun in my auctions, or, you know, was kind to everyone. And
Justine said, I found a vintage pink lunchbox with a big white poodle on it and sent it to her. I hope she enjoyed it. Oh, I know that made her day.
I felt real bad because when I found out she passed away, and then I tracked her package, and it got there like it was going to get there about 3 days after she passed away. And I know, and she had bought a ring, and I know she really liked that ring. And it made me feel bad that she didn't get to see it.
Judy May said, Josie, actually, she told me not to make a video with the things that, you know, she sent Judy May, because if she did, she would block her. If she made a video of showing the kindness to Judy May.
Yeah.
She didn't want any praise at all.
No, she didn't. But I love her sense of humor, and I was sad we didn't get to do another funny video or live stream on my other channel. But I'm so thankful that we have that one, and you can go
tell
watch
that,
it.
Josie, about she had never been on camera as far as we know.
Nope.
And then when Josie come up with this tell a funny story, she, you know, well, you tell it, Josie. I don't know what happened.
Well, I just said, are you really going to show yourself? And she didn't really come up with yes or no. But I said, okay, I'm going to send you the link. And I was just so thrilled because I didn't know if she would really follow through. But I should have known because like I said, she was so honest.
Oh, at that point, she'd already made her mind up. She knew that she was going to do it.
If I could have hugged her through the screen, I would have, because none of us knew what she looked like.
Judy May said, no, she would go on camera with Irene. See, I never saw her. As much as I went into Irene's, I never saw her on camera with Irene.
No.
And I never saw that. Oh, and Josie, were you in my chat today when Lori said that she karaoke'd in one of the karaoke channels, that she sang a song? Yeah.
I did not know that.
Said she sounded like Reba McEntire.
Oh, really? We got to find out.
I think it was Lori that said that. I had no idea she could sing.
And it was on YouTube?
Yeah, that's what she said.
I wish somebody would find out where it was and send us the link so we could hear her voice. I did not know that she sang.
And Judy May said, oh, yeah, she loves karaoke.
Oh, that's
See, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I would have loved to heard her sing.
Yep. And what's so wonderful about nowadays where we have the videos. Because I have to admit, I went back and watched Pam's, and I went back and watched Robin and the funny stories.
And that means so much.
Yeah,
They
just to
said it
hear
was Deb's
their
wood
voice.
burning. I wonder if
Oh,
we could
okay. I
talk to
will.
Deb and ask her, does she remember the night that, or close to the night that she sang, and we
Yeah,
might could go back and view that.
I would love to hear
I
that. I
would
did
too.
not.
I would love to hear
Yeah,
it.
I did not know she loved to sing. I know she liked movies, the old
She would
movies.
always talk about those older movies.
Yeah.
She knew them like the back of her hand. Something would come up about a word that was spoken in the the chat, or Josie or Pam would say something, and she would say, "Oh, I just got finished watching the 1946 movie, blah blah blah," and they
Yeah.
dressed so wonderful. I love the way they dressed, and she would talk about that a lot.
Yeah. And I always said, if anyone wants to know anything about the old movies, who starred in them, the different scenes, just ask Robin, because she knew it.
Yes, she knew all of, and the
Yeah,
actors and the actresses. She knew them.
she knew them. And that's how she liked the blingy jewelry, because I've seen a couple of them, like series, and they have a lot of statement necklaces, a lot of bling. Yeah.
She said when she would be in Scrap Dog's chat, I would sing a line to a song. She always knew the next line to whatever song I brought up.
Yep.
Now that is something new that I did not know about her. See, she wasn't one to brag about
Yeah.
the things that she could do or she was talented in.
One sad thing, I don't think the family was going to be able to keep her dogs. I sure hope they found someone who could take the 3 dogs.
I told Josie when I was talking to her, I said, I would love to have the poodle, but I don't know how in the world they would get it to me. And Josie said, they can fly those animals by airplane to where you are. But I don't know. Was Jinx the poodle?
Yeah, it was a standard poodle. Jinx was
Yeah.
the large dog. Yeah, the standard poodle.
I hope they find a good home for them. And I hope they'll be okay if they get separated.
Yeah.
I hope they'll be okay.
Animals have a hard time. I think, they're just like humans. They have feelings, even if a lot of people don't realize that. And sometimes they'll stop eating when they're sad.
Oh, they can sense something is about to happen too.
I love the way they dressed. Yes. And the furniture. Yeah, I love the Victorian times. Although I don't think I'd like those tight girdles they had to wear.
Oh, I don't know if I could dress up like that every day. In those dresses and everything.
No wonder they didn't live to be real old. They couldn't breathe.
Right. You have to stand up against a pole, and they had to pull that string and tighten it.
Yeah. But I did love the clothing and the jewelry and the decorations. That Victorian, they loved her as much as yes. Yeah, and it's sad when the animals get so attached to you, and they really have a hard time when they lose their master.
And I'm sure her two have realized that something is not quite right.
Yeah. So hopefully the family did find someone, because I think it was her niece said she couldn't take them because she already had 3 dogs.
See, I didn't know Robin had 3. I knew she had 2, but she may have only had 2. I don't know.
No, she had 3.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. I have the pantaloons, but forgot getting
getting a 16-inch waist again. Exactly. I understand that.
Well, back then, if you didn't have a 16-inch waist, they pulled it tight, so you did.
Oh, yeah, you was going to have one.
You were going to have one anyway.
Justine said, I can't remember the third dog's name.
I can't either, and she did say it, but I'm terrible at names. I really am. And it's not even old age. I was terrible at names when I was young.
But we just had to come on tonight
Yes.
and talk about Robin and give her a few moments. And I know she's probably listening to us. And you know, Robin, we love you, and we're gonna miss you. And well, I know I'll see you again one day. So I mean, I that's my belief that I will see you in Pam again one day. And even though I didn't meet you here physically, I will meet you there, and I'm going to give you a big hug like I am Pam, and ask y'all, what were y'all thinking? I mean, close together, really? I mean, come on. I mean,
I know. I
kind of separated it a little bit.
I kind of joked about it, although it's not really funny, but I kind of joked about it and said, okay, you two talked about meeting, but did you have to meet like this? And they both went, you know, they both passed away so close to each other. But I know Pam used to say, I want to meet Robin one of these days. You know, she's in Ohio and we can meet.
I told Josie, I said, I could just see Pam when she saw Robin. Girl, what are you doing up here? What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but well, shall we close it down? And
yeah, if nobody else has a story to tell, we hope we have given honor and respect to Robin and did well as far as remembering her. And y'all don't ever hesitate to say, and when you're in chats, if she comes to your mind, and don't ever hesitate to speak about her or Pam. Yeah. I mean, it's okay to remember them. It's okay to speak their name. Just because they're not physically here with us doesn't mean we have to stop talking about them. You know.
And you, if you have a story you want to put in the comment section. By the way, I do not monetize any of this type of videos, so I'm not trying to get, you know, making money off your comments. But if you have stories you want to put in the comment section, so, you know, somebody could come in and read them, and maybe it, you know, sometimes a little story can put a smile on your face. But any of this type of videos, I do not monetize. I don't do them to earn money.
I love that scripture, Justine. She said, Pam put a note card on one of my orders with Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. I love that.
Yeah,
I really do.
So God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting us and being here and honoring our dear friend Robin. And we know she's in heaven with the Lord Jesus, and she's not in pain anymore. So
thank you all. And I love you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.